hopefully we'll make this enjoyable, uplifting, and we'll have a bit of a cheer after it all. So well done to everybody else. It's a really good display of fantastic innovation. And thank you to those of you who did it in English, by the way. I've never been able to speak Dutch. I'm unlikely to be able to speak Dutch, so to hear your pictures in English really helps us. So thank you, appreciate that. So, we good to go? So we're Team Pi. We're going to show you how we've embedded analytics into Exact and actually enable accountants to be able to go from just providing not just what's happening for their customers, but enable them to build models, refine models, to actually show them why things are happening. This is about predicting outcomes for accountants' customers. We've heard a lot about hands-free accounting. We've heard a lot about accountants needing to innovate their own business models, and that's what we're going to show you how they're going to do today. So models today, they're going to predict cash flow, but there's lots of things we can predict in analytics. That's just the start of it. And we're going to show you how can you identify invoices at risk with this particular example today. Over to you, John.
So how does it work basically? So we extract the data out of Exact and we store it in a database. We then sit our statistic engine over the top of that, and we provide an easy to use interface for accountants to be able to create models over the top of the data. The result of that will give us an insight into why things are happening. So we already know what's happening, but we want to know why it's happening. So the project that we've come up with is we want to be able to predict if a sales invoice will go bad, as in it won't get paid on time. So we take all the data out, we run the model over it. It tells us which the characteristics of a sales invoice that might go bad, which gives us some things to look for. We can then provide insights into that, how many of those types of invoices that we've got that are like that, and then ultimately we can write back to Exact and say, we think these invoices are going to go bad, and we're going to mark them so that the users can see them nice and easily. This is what it'll look like in Exact, so we just write to the invoice itself. So why is that important? So we've now got self-service analytics, and you don't need to understand how to write all this stuff. We've got an easy-to-use interface. It's going to turn accountants into data scientists, and crucially, analytics heroes. They're going to be legends. We're putting predictive markers on the record so that people can see in real time which things might go bad and give them problems in the future so they can do something about it. And that's going to give you financial performance improvements and smooth out the cash flow. So I'm just going to hand you over to Tiago, who's going to show you it in action.
Right, so here I'm a user, and I already have an invoice that we think is going to go bad. So it tells me there's one invoice that might go bad, it's £120. And how do we get this? So our accountant, he can build a model and try to find out a tree that tries to predict whether or not an invoice will go bad. So in this screen here, I've got a table. It could be any chart, but what I really want is to build a model to predict something. So I change to be this type of chart. I want to predict if it's going to be overdue. I tag that and I save it. So it goes off, tries to calculate a few things, and then it comes back with a tree. Hopefully. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, it might be internet connection. There we go. So this is a representation of the decisions that are being taken, and basically now I can run this model. This will be running in the background. You don't have to do anything. I'm just clicking so I can activate it, and you can see the numbers changing. So if the user goes back to his screen, he'll see now I've got two invoices, and these are £520. And if the thing is, if we go back to Exact, we write the thing back into Exact. We use the description field. So if I refresh now, you should see the top one going, okay, this might go overdue as well. So the advantage is now you can predict better whether or not something is going to be paid on time or not.
Thank you very much, everybody.